July 23. 1401. The city of Baghdad sacked by the Tartars under Timur the Lame, who erected on her ruins a pyramid of 90,000 heads. 1531. Treaty of Nuremberg between Charles V and the Reformers, and soon after solemnly ratified by the Diet of Ratisbon. 1562. Gtz von Berlichingen with the Iron Hand, a bold, restless and warlike German knight, died. He placed himself at the head of the rebellious peasantry in the war which they waged against their oppressors, but was soon taken prisoner. 1584. Elizabeth Russell died, an English lady, distinguished for a well-cultivated mind and a taste for literature. 1584. John Day, an eminent English printer, died. He was the first who printed in Greek and Saxon characters in England, and is deserving of remembrance for his enterprise in the publication of many extensive works, the effect of which was to facilitate the progress of the Reformation. 1588. Date of the oldest preserved newspaper in England, the English Mercury, by Queen Elizabeth. It had been printed at intervals before, as this was the 50th number, and is still preserved in the British Museum. It is printed in the Roman character. May 28. 1602. The lacteals discovered by Caspar Aselli, while dissecting a dog. The discovery was accidental. 1627. Robert Shirley, a native of England, died in Persia. He made a visit to Persia, and was induced to settle there, became a favorite with the emperor, who gave him his niece in marriage, and sent him as his ambassador to Poland and England. 1637. The Cuttite stool thrown by a woman at the head of the bishop, in St. Giles's Church, Edinburgh. 1691. Henry Slaughter, governor of the province of New York, died, after a short, weak and turbulent administration, and was buried in Stuyvesant's vault, next to the old Dutch governor. 1692. Gilles Menage, a learned French author, died. He acquired the title of the Varro of his time, and became so popular that Mazarin even was jealous of him. He left numerous valuable works. 1712. Hippolyte Harley died, first president of the Parliament of Paris, and an upright magistrate. 1741. Battle of Williamstadt, in Sweden, between the Russians and Swedes. 1752. Alexander Politi, an Italian professor of great learning, died at Pisa. He published an edition of Eustathius' Commentary on Homer, with a Latin translation and notes, 5 volumes. Folio. A labor of great value. 1757. Zittau, in Saxony, bombarded, taken and destroyed by the Austrians. The inhabitants, as well as the Prussian troops who defended it, were put to the sword. 1758. Battle of Sangershausen. The Hessians defeated by the French under Soubise, who, although victorious, lost 2,000 men. 1765. In Lapland, 120 reindeer were struck dead by lightning. 1773. George Edwards, styled the father of ornithologists, died, aged 81. He was apprenticed to a trade, but as soon as his indentures expired he began to travel, and extended his researches into various countries of Europe. The first volume of his work appeared in 1743, and the whole was completed in 1764, in 7 volumes, containing engravings and descriptions of upwards of 600 subjects in natural history never before delineated. 1779. The Minisink settlements in Orange County, New York, attacked by the Indians under Brent, by whom it was also plundered and burnt, and the inhabitants either killed or carried away. 1780. Battle in North Carolina, between 300 militia under Colonel Locke, and the British and Tories under Moore. The latter proposed a cessation of hostilities for 1 hour, which being agreed to, he decamped with his party. 1785. The Germanic Union concluded, the last act of importance of the life of Frederick II. 1793. Roger Sherman, one of the signers, died. 1794. Alexandre Beauharnais, a French general, guillotined. He served in the American War under Rochambeau, was sometime president of the National Assembly of France, afterwards commanded the Army of the Rhine, and in 1793 was Minister of War. He was condemned on a false accusation, and perished at the age of 34. His widow, Josephine, was the first wife of Bonaparte. 1800. John Francis Fauvilliers, a learned Greek scholar, died. He was for 20 years professor of Greek at Paris, but finally driven out by the Revolution, and invited to St. Petersburg by the Emperor, where he died. 1816. Elizabeth Hamilton died, an English lady of great talents and acquirements, who left several excellent works on various subjects. 1816. The Enterprise arrived at Charleston from Savannah. Being the first steamboat ever seen in that city, it excited a great deal of curiosity. 1832. Battle near Coimbra, Portugal, between the forces of Don Pedro, 8,000 men, and those of Don Miguel, 12,500, in which the latter were defeated. 1836. Hugh Shaw died, aged 113. 1838. Frederick Cuvier, the well-known French naturalist, died at Strasbourg. 1855. Joseph C. Hart, American consul, died at Santa Cruz, Canary Islands. He was a man of literary taste and an author. 1855. The insurgent Mexicans under General Vidaury, at Saltillo, defeated the government forces under Generals Cruz and Guichen, and drove them from the city.